L- Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We have updates here on the memorial of Charlie Kirk. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, Elon was sitting next to Trump. Seems like it was already reported, but they patched up their issues that they've had over the past, really going back like 8 months or whenever it was, 6 months, 5 months, whatever. You don't think you'd ever be able to forgive someone that's murdering? Well, that's the religion. That's the religion of Christianity. So that's why she said that. Very powerful. But what a raw moment so early. This Robinson, we'll see. Um, but yeah, that was a big moment in the speech when she said she would forgive him. Kind of feel like the announcement tomorrow will be bullshit. Well, it's those announcements when it comes to the medical field, I think, are always kind of bullshit. What are they going to announce? There's something to do with vaccines and autism. That's what they've been hinting at for a while. It feels like. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, it's been storming here. It's been thunderstorming. Surprise. Well, not terribly surprising in September, but it's like a summer thunderstorm tonight. Did you see Tucker laugh? The iconic laugh. Is it H1B announcement? That was announced on Friday. They already announced that. This is in relation to some autism, apparently. That's what Trump said during his speech. Long live Charlie, Christ is King. BPG. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Destiny said ceremony was a Nazi rally. Unreal. Dude, that's to me that's just rage bait. I mean, it's like but it works. I mean, people get mad at him. They're going to blame autism on sugar and trans fat. Yeah, I mean, with the way the country's trended, I mean, the country's becoming ridiculously unhealthy. They say there's an uptick in autism. Yeah, but I just wonder how much of it was not diagnosed in the 1900s versus there being an uptick because now there's a lot of people with autism that you can barely or you can't tell that they even have it. Mm-hmm. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sick myth. It's an icon. That's an ironic name for that statement. No, but I think you're being serious. I appreciate that. Did you see people hated Trump's speech? People are always going to hate Trump's speech. He's got a lot of people that dislike him. Doesn't surprise me. Can you explain why Charlie Kirk was a moderate? In terms of a conservative, they say he's a moderate conservative. Not overall, not a moderate like in the middle. Pretty unorganized. Entering and leaving was a complete shit show. Once you got inside, it was good. I wonder how long it took people to get out of there. The traffic had to have been just crazy. How many people were actually within that because they said there were rumors, and I don't know if this ended up being true. There were rumors it was 300K total. I don't know if I know it was like 100K inside, they said, or like 90K, but they said around the stadium there was another maybe a few hundred K. Don't want to jinx it, but hurricane season has been very tame and barely anything so far. We are past the peak. Yeah, normally there's a bad one in early September. So now it's the 21st. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Prediction: an online extremely accurate AI tool will be or currently is available to ID crowd sizes from photo or video within minutes. Yeah, I mean, the government's probably had that type of stuff for years. They could predict crowd sizes, they could zoom in on people, things like that. People were waiting as early as last night. Yeah, the sunrise was pretty amazing, seeing the sunrise and with all the people waiting outside the Cardinal Stadium. There was another stadium across the street with thousands more, an arena. It's like Desert Diamond Arena, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that arena sits like 20K, and I think there were like 15K. So there was overflow into the arena. It's pretty remarkable. Do they leave some sections in the upper deck empty of the stadium? I think I did see a few empty or some, or maybe, but that might have been because of the viewpoint of the speaker. You know, they do that with concerts where with those stadiums, they're positioned to where some of the seats are just blocked off from being able to view the speaker. There's only two entrances that were legit 10 to 15 feet wide, and everyone got in there and just did the entrances. The staff couldn't even get inside. They were 2 hours late. Wow. Yeah, that's got to be brutal. I just wonder exiting. You know, I've had issues exiting stadiums when you're in parking garages. It's horrible. The traffic inside, the congestion inside parking garages. Parking garages in general are terrible, but wonder if we're going to see bulletproof glass all the time. Yeah, they did have bulletproof glass around the because I didn't think they were going to do that. And I'm not. You would think the security would be to the point to where nobody is getting in with any type of weapon, but I guess you never know now. So I do wonder. But that's the thing is we saw it with Trump, and then they stopped doing it because Trump got shot at and nearly died, and then he put up a bunch of bulletproof glass surrounding him, and then he stopped doing it. So is this going to be another thing where they do it for 2 months and then stop? I don't know. You thought Trump's speech was very good. It was just Trump being Trump. It also started lighthearted after a very emotional speech by Erica Kirk, necessary. Yeah, I mean, Trump with his speeches, with something like this, you could go a few different routes. There was some marketing involved, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's a big speech. So, and Charlie would have wanted that, that's for sure. But there's a few different ways he could have gone about it, but he always gives longer speeches. They tend to drag on a little bit. So I thought it was a typical Trump speech, excuse me. How did the invitations or tickets get distributed for the memorial? It's kind of amazing they planned it and put together so quickly. Yeah, it was first come, first serve. And it was announced, I think, like last Saturday that it was going to be this Sunday, I want to say. So it was like a week, maybe 8 days before they announced. Erica coming out to the podium was a potent moment. Yeah, it was. Hate speech doesn't exist because it's free speech. Charlie hated the phrase hate speech. Yeah, I mean it's the free speech stuff is it depends on where you're using it. You know, speech is different depending on the places in which it's used. I mean, the First Amendment protects speech in general, but obviously, if you're on a platform, there's things you're not going to be able to say, or there's incitement of violence, it's racketeering. It depends what you say in the context in which it's said. I think, it should be very, very free in terms of free speech, I believe. So whether it's anyone, now we're dealing with this whole snafu with Jimmy Kimmel and he's trying to play the victim. But I knew the liberals would do this. Charlie Kirk dies and then they still try and play the victim somehow. I mean, it just seems all shallow to me. And now you've got people saying, well, oh, the Republicans are the ones canceling. And I think it's a lot of rage bait. I'm not going to take the rage bait. Are you feeling optimistic about things in general? It seems like this has got to snap a lot of people out from the leftist haze. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I mean, I think the general problem with pretty much every first world country, and now even Japan is going through this, and I've seen propaganda where the locals there are angry at all the immigration. The problem is these first world countries are not keeping up birth rate to be able to keep up with their own economies. Their birth rate is not there, so they have to import people, and the country gets watered down and watered down and watered down and watered down until there's no country left, until it's just an economic zone. So how does that change? What is the step in which you change that? Because you're going to be dealing with economic turmoil if we really go the route of culture. But I mean, I think the way I've been thinking about it, I think every first world country has the same problem. Their economies are growing at a point in which their native population is not growing. So you import people, and it's fine and it works short term. But what is the long term effect? I think it's a big issue. So I don't know. I mean, about 2026 or 2028, who knows, dude? 2026 is still over a year away. I don't know the effect that this is going to have on 2026. It's hard to say. Ilhan Omar, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Horrible human being. She doesn't like the country. She doesn't like the country. She shouldn't be in the country. She should be running Somalia. I mean, this is the most retarded part of our government and just the immigration stuff in general. The woman does not like the United States. Of course, she doesn't like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was an American, a Christian, and heavily supported the United States. I'm not surprised she doesn't like Charlie Kirk. I would be shocked if she did. Did you see some crazy leftist shot up the ABC studio for shutting down Kimmel? Really? What do you mean they shot it up? They just shot at it? No. Drive-by shooting. Hmm. Did she actually marry her brother? I think she possibly had an arrangement with her brother to be able to stay in the United States. Um, the AI says no. I don't know. They say it's unfounded. But Steven Crowder said, no, this is real. I mean, we've got her marriage certificate. She married her brother to try and stay in the United States. They were going to deport her, or her visa was expired or something, so she needed to stay in. That's the way in which she did. Did you see Trump talking to Elon, or did you cover that already? Yeah, I saw it. I mean, dude, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it was already announced about or reported about 2 or 3 months ago they were back on good terms. It was reported 3 months ago that Musk had donated $5 million to Trump's super PAC, one of Trump's top super PACs. So it doesn't surprise me that they're back and being cordial. I mean, what is Musk going to do? Go to the left? Start a new party? It's a waste of money. Musk said he's going to support Vance. I mean, that's already been rumored behind the scenes. Yeah, guys, like the video. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. It's realistic. That seems doable. That seems doable. You can't marry your brother. That's illegal. It's immigration fraud or something. I don't know. If that is true, they need to get her out. She doesn't even like the country, but these people come in and then they get elected by other immigrants. That's how it's gotten. And then these and this is what I was talking about this in a video on Friday. You get the first wave immigration. They say we're planting our flag here in Dearborn, Minnesota, or Minneapolis, or Dearborn, Michigan, or Minneapolis, Minnesota. Come, 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 come. Then the second wave of them come. Then the third wave of them come. And then they outnumber the native people. There was the New Jersey governor debate today, the Democrat who Demonized Charlie, deflected when asked about it. Yeah, that what a bad day for a debate. It's going to be way overshadowed. Tesla is pumping after hours. Boomer gains are real. 20% gains. I don't know. Tesla moves a little bit moves a little bit more. Market cap that high though. I mean, what did it go up like 3%? What do you think about the population issue? Well, I think there's white people are not reproducing enough. That's the problem. I mean, that really is the issue, and so you're either going to rectify that through some means of making things cheaper for people, but it's more of a culture thing. It's you either rectify it by trying to fix it, or you just import immigrants. They're importing immigrants because it's capitalist driven, and they want to keep their GDP, and these companies want to keep their quotas and bottom lines. So it's an immediate fix. Off subject, where can I find the background music that you use in your 9/11 and World War II videos? Look in the description. It should be on most of them. It's in the description. I know that, and then you can search it. It's something horror like ambiance or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's in the description. Humans are in an overpopulation crisis due to modern food production. No, no, that's it's the opposite. That was like something that people would say in 2006, but it's the complete opposite. We're in terms of the Earth, we're very underpopulated for sure. And now maybe in certain cities they're overpopulated, like New Delhi, India, or the major cities in China. You could say the population density is far too high in those cities. But in a general sense, land area per person, it's we're way underpopulated, especially in the United States. It would be remigration, for people that just got in here with for the last year. But you can't really do that if you have illegals here. How are you going to remigrate people? It doesn't make any sense. If you still have illegals here, we're going to have illegals here for I don't know how long. This administration can't even deport 1 million per year. And I'm not criticizing them. I think it's a hard thing to deport people quickly, but libtard myth. Well, it's just Well, that is an actual myth, and it's another thing with like global warming. If you look at greenhouse gas emissions, the Western countries have leveled their greenhouse gases off, and China's just skyrocketing. And there's no talk of China, and there never will be. And then they say, well, per capita, the United States is worse. Well, you can't really judge it per capita in terms of population because so many of those people live in poverty, so they're not really contributing in terms of an economic output. If somebody seeing more Americans on average contribute in terms of an economic output than Chinese because so many of them are in poverty. So it would make sense for them to have a lower greenhouse gas emission per capita than American citizens. But overall, and they do have like four times the population, even though they lie about it, they're producing way more. And the thing is they're exponentially growing their greenhouse gas emissions, and that's with them having the biggest solar panel farms in the world as well. I mean, we'll go to it, man. I just like Waynesville. I don't even know where Waynesville is. That's my city. I'm joking. It's a nice photo. We need to work on bringing the immigrant population into the conservative fold. They are having more children, and they're going to be a larger part of the population. Well, I don't think that's right. I mean, some of the immigrants are conservative. They come over, they're conservative. Some of the Hispanics are conservative. We've learned. But in general, the immigrants are going to be about 70-30 Democrat. Maybe it's down to 65. I don't know the recent numbers, but The ones that are politically active, it's about 70-30. That's why they, and this is another thing when you look at birth rate. Republicans are above replacement. They're at 2.2 births per woman. Democrats are at 1.2. They're not even close. So that's a huge problem for Democrats. They have to be able to supplement that. And a lot of that is through, I mean, obviously, feminism is a lot more rampant on the left. And it says not for women to prioritize their careers and not have children and not get married. And so they're struggling to keep up. So a lot of the keep up is through immigration for liberals. Take California, for example. How much immigration? Remember, Reagan won California. California was a completely different state 30, 40 years ago. The immigrations destroyed any conservative chance in California. The laugh. Dude, the Tucker laugh. You got to break out the Tucker laugh. Hillary Clinton? I'm not a Cowboys fan. You say you watch me for every year. I'm not a Cowboys fan. That's a strange comment. The left had Crockett on their channel all day today on CNN. Yeah, I think I saw something about that where she was saying something. I don't know. A lot of this left shit, I just don't care. I know people want me to rant stuff. I just don't really care what they say. I don't value their opinions at all. But I know you got to do it. You got to look at it and argue it. But the Browns, dude, the Packers are not. Dude, honestly, like I was thinking about Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a great example of like where quarterback play is. People think Jordan Love is like this good young. Jordan Love is not good. Like I never watched Jordan Love and I'm like, wow, this is impressive. Like that's just the epitome of where quarterback play is in the NFL. It's Jordan Love. This is a franchise quarterback, really? And then his game-winning drive is him throwing like a fucking dump off to the tight end after starting at the 40-yard line. Like, dude, this shit is. That's the NFL. They have a quarterback problem. They don't have the quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks return for like 140, 150 yards. This product is not watchable. They're gonna have to change the defenses or something. These quarterbacks are not good enough. They're not the quarterbacks of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'll tell you that. And now we got fucking Jordan Love and fucking Justin Herbert, and we have to like be like, oh, these young players are so amazing. These are average quarterbacks. They just are. They're just not that good. I'm sorry. Gen Z in high school during COVID are more right wing. What do you mean by that? Oh, when they were in high school during COVID, they become more right wing. Well, the young men are more right wing, absolutely, than they were even 5, 6 years. Way more right wing than they were 5, 6 years ago. There's a huge trend, especially with the younger, like 18 to 24, are extremely right wing. 25 to 29, it's a little bit moderate for my age bracket. But the younger, the 18 to 24 are extremely right wing, and in most cases, let's be honest, far right wing. Respect from the UK, mass immigration is a serious problem here. We need a Trump type figure to lead us. Yeah, I don't know about Nigel Farage or what's going on with your Reform Party. I know you guys had a major rally I saw with Tommy Robinson, and I give you credit for that. I mean, that was about 2 million people, they said. It's about 2 million people. Now you got Starmer saying they must return, the boats must go back. So it does seem like something is changing in the UK. I just wonder if it's too late. But I'm not, I'm not following the UK that closely to really know. It may even be too late in the United States. I mean, look at our the demographics of Gen Z. So, but I think we definitely have a better situation than you guys do in terms of that, because you're a smaller, you're an island. It's hard to absorb that much immigration, and I just wonder, like, if I go to London, how noticeable is it in terms of the amount of immigration there? Thoughts on Browns division? Or Browns aren't winning anything, dude. Browns can barely get 200 yards of offense. You understand that, right? UK is still 75% native, where America is like 57%. No, it's America's 61. But the problem is they're a lot more liberal than we are. And on top of that, they have a lot smaller population, so it can rapidly change demographics. It's a lot easier for, just like what happened in Canada. It's a lot easier for the demographics to rapidly change when the population is overall smaller. We've got a population of 350 million. It's harder to rapidly change it. It tends to happen quicker with like Canada or the UK or any of those other European countries because their populations are so much smaller than us. Cubs third baseman Matt Shaw didn't play today because he went to the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Wow. Yeah, there were. I saw the Browns did a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. That was a nice gesture. It's good to see the Browns do that. The UK, the most right wing Western European country. Well, Western European. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, they're trending. They're trending. I guess more moderate at least. 70% white if you count citizens only, which is what matters since they can vote. Don't tell the Democrats. No, I'm just kidding. Poland, he said Western European, not Eastern European. Were you ever a Democrat? I was never a Democrat ever. Never, 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 never. Yeah, so Trump started making it. I mean, it did turn into a bit of a rally type thing. I mean, listen, this is what it is. There's going to be a breakdown. I immediately knew when Trump started talking about the autism, talking about the liberal violence, talking about Antifa as terrorists. I immediately knew the left would say, "Well, he's politicizing it. He's making it about himself." This is just what politics are. Kirk would have wanted this. They're trying to get people registered. They say it's distasteful. Well, this is what it is. I mean, and look, you could say, well, it's a funeral. I mean, it is a memorial, though. I guess not a funeral, but the amount of Kirk was a huge, huge figure, very powerful, and so we need people to understand that.
Soon award Charlie the nation's highest civilian honor, the
Man, this is really loud, is it not? Normally I have to turn it up all the way.
Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's the highest civilian honor. And we will do the ceremony at our beautiful White House in a very safe Washington, D.C., a place that Charlie truly revered. You know, we stopped the crime in Washington, took 12 days. Now you can go to restaurants, you can walk down the middle of the street with your wife. You can have your wife walk alone down the middle of the street. She's going to be in good shape. What a difference. Soon award Charlie.
Did you go to Seton Hall? No, I never went to the college. I never went there, no. There's Trump and Musk.
His opponents, he wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Looking down, he's angry at me now. He wasn't interested in demonizing anyone. He was interested in persuading everyone to the ideas and principles.
What's your reaction to the Michigan mayor telling the American citizen to get the fuck out because he's not Muslim? I did a video on that on Friday. I did a video on it where I discussed it. But it's honestly, it shows you that these mass immigration cohorts, they absorb cities almost. And now you've got, what is it, Jacob Frey speaking, just have you guys seen the recent stuff on him where it's like you need a translator? You had to leave the room when he started going off. You were just so erect you couldn't take it. You just couldn't handle it. You should do a 9/11 Memorial New York City 9/11 vlog. Well, let me just say, I'll be doing an Iceberg 2.0 version. I'll be doing a whole conspiracy 9/11 PowerPoint. I'll be doing another video that I really got to get to. It's been like a month. I've been putting it off. On the Jewish art students. Thoughts on the H-1B chaos over the weekend? Well, I mean, I just think it's unfortunate the administration has seemingly a communication problem. But listen, I think it's a good thing. I think a lot of people were shocked that it happened. And it does seem like we're at the point to where maybe there was some type of agreement that was reached to where, well, if you make it 100K, it can't be yearly. And maybe that makes it best of both worlds. I mean, I want H-1B program destroyed. But obviously that's something that if you're in office, you probably cannot do because of a lot of the top corporations. They're not going to be too happy with you. So look, they're making it very unattractive. I think that's the point. The H-1B program is a lot less attractive for lower skilled. I mean, it's supposed to be high skilled, but it turns into grunt work labor. A lot of these entry-level jobs get filled up, and then they bring their families over, and they said it was going to decrease the Indian immigration population by half is what I heard because of the families and things like that are on these temporary visas. They get green cards, they get naturalized. And so that's how it works, but we'll see if it ends up working. I mean, I think it has to work because 100K, I mean, going from $215 fee to 100K, that's a markup. That's a markup right there. You don't want to deal with that. Conservatives need to do a better job of not pushing Having kids all the time. We don't want. No, I mean, no, you got to push that. Liberals already won't have kids, part of the feminist ideology. They're not going to start having them. They don't really believe in the family, nuclear family or anything like that. They think it's, traditional gender roles. So they're, I mean, and you can say, well, no, some liberals are normal. Okay, well, if their birth rate is 1.2, I mean, obviously they're seriously going down a bad path. Their party is going down a bad path. You can let them do it, and maybe they'll replace it with migration, and they'll get a bunch of voters through that, or through immigration, maybe. Trump actually tied the autism tangent pretty well into his rally with RFK in Arizona, which helped Charlie making it happen. Yeah, I mean, but he did say there was a big announcement tomorrow. I mean, it is a memorial service for Charlie Kirk. We're talking about a big announcement tomorrow, but that's just how politics is. Typhoon, what's up, man? You think Congress will kick out racist Jasmine Crockett? I think maybe her district is getting gerrymandered out. I don't know. People were talking about that. I'm not sure if hers is one of the districts that's gonna be. It's gonna be hard for her to win re-election. Thoughts on Trump and Musk back together? Not surprised. Musk donated to Trump about $5 million to his super PAC like 3 months ago. It was already pretty much confirmed. Musk wants Vance in really badly. Okay, so they're already starting to push Vance, and Vance is now. Vance is doing these campaign speeches, and Musk says, "Yes, I want to give you my support." Musk is going to be a huge financier of Vance's campaign. Musk really wants Vance. Let me just say, really bad. Musk said, "I'll support the Republicans if it's Vance," but we already knew it was going to be Vance. Thoughts on Supreme Court ruling on burning? I don't know, what did they rule on that? Burning the U.S. flag? Have you seen Trump's approval rating skyrocketing? Rasmussen plus 7% higher, plus 7 points higher than Obama at the time. Yeah, I've seen it. I want to see what happens with some of these other pollsters. But I mean, the approval rating is good enough, whatever it is, 43, 44. If it's -3, -4 in the composite, it's good enough. I know some of the other ones are bad, though. Rasmussen is really the only one, but Rasmussen does more up to the minute polls or up to the day polls. So I think we'll get more context on the Kirk effects and how it affects it within the next few weeks with some of these other pollsters. Anyone else was nervous about another incident happening when Trump was on stage? No, there's a bulletproof glass around Trump. So it's very unlikely anything would have happened to him. Are you burial or cremation? Yeah, I'd say cremated is the way you want to grow. The thing is your body decays so fast. Um, you have to be filled with embalming fluid, and so you're not even like a person at that point. You get cremated like the same day or within 2 days because it's just your body is going to decay. Your body will actually blow up too. Not literally, but your body will bloat heavily with gases. Should we consider revoking visas? Well, I mean, if people are here and they do things, look, that's more of the Israel stuff. I don't believe in that. All right, I really don't. But how are we going to revoke visas? There's so many illegals in the country. It's like, I mean, if people are here and they're acting bad, but that gets into the whole, oh, if you talk bad about Israel, you get your visa revoked. Look, I wish we had I mean, there's a lot of people here on visas. A lot of people. The numbers came out. I forgot what the numbers were exactly, but it's an insane amount. And so, I mean, we'll look at. I guess they'll look into it. But there's so many illegals in the country. It's like you got to get the illegals out. Tucker Carlson's speech wasn't Ellie sounded like a wine mom. Yeah, he's a little bit more like went religious route with this speech. It looked like the laugh, the iconic laugh. There's going to be a bunch of these Trump clips. I mean, Trump was there for speaking for a while. They embalm people before cremation. No, 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 no. They embalm you if you're going to be buried. That's what they did for Kirk. What was it? Close casket. They said, I think. That's what I believe it is. You were worried when Trump and Erica were standing outside the bulletproof glass, waving to the crowd. It is crazy how fragile our society is. Like if something happened to them, like imagine what would happen. It'd be. I mean, that is how fragile it is. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Turning Point USA. That's another thing to think about. What happens to Turning Point USA? Erica Kirk is now the leader. Apparently, they've got all these new chapters opening. They've got all these requests. People want to work with them, and it seems like they really have a lot of momentum. Pope should make Charlie Kirk a saint. Well, he's been honored. I mean, Charlie Kirk, this is for someone who's 31 years old. This is remarkable in terms of the Medal of Freedom, and I mean he's got a lot that's happened with after his death to where this is an extremely impactful person for 31 years of life. Normally, I don't get a feeling like one side is going to have an advantage from something. Today seems very different. You feel like there's been an awakening. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Time will tell. I mean, it's just we've never seen something like this. There's never been an assassination like this in the social media age at all. It's never come in domestically. So I don't know the exact effect it's going to have, and how galvanizing it will be, and how many normies can actually be reached by this, because that's the normie independence. But also, I mean, it's a turnout game, and Republicans do have a low propensity problem. And is this something that could help galvanize people to the polls? Obviously, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, but you do wonder, maybe this will help. Cremated or burial? I think it's a burial. If he was embalmed, but I don't know. I mean, they were doing, she posted a video with his hands and stuff, and I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's a burial. What do you think Charlie's most enduring legacy? That's, well, just being a serious supporter of MAGA, I would say, and I would also say possibly helping turn the tides on young people becoming more conservative. And also a major catalyst for the 2024 election. Vance Rubio 28. Yeah, it's looking Vance Gabbard, Vance Rubio, whichever one they want to choose right now. I mean, you don't know for sure, but I can just say, I mean, but we were thinking about this like 8 9 months ago when Trump won. I'm not gonna sit here and change because there's no reason for me to change. But it's probably. I mean, I know Trump even said Vance Rubio. I don't know what that is. The preservation. Oh, is that like a newer preservation technique? Is that where they freeze your body? 100K, and hopefully you'll become. They'll create. Why is this loading like this? And hopefully they'll create something to bring you back. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not. I don't know about that, man. That seems anti-religion. You hope Mr. Marco kissed the wall 100 times. Rubio is the VP. Yeah, he's a very, very pro-Israel, Marco Rubio. Remember Marco Rubio's reaction to Hamas? I'll never forget that at the airport. Cryo freeze. You think Erica Kirk has future Arizona political potential? I mean, I don't. It's a bit distasteful, but she seemed like she was I saw she's got a very impressive resume. I did see that, and so obviously, as a widow now, it's there's an emotion there, and running for Congress in Arizona. I mean, it's something that maybe would happen down the line. I don't know. How did the Egyptians do it with mummies? Tombs. Was there a stand down order on October 7th? Ask Charlie Kirk. I mean, even he has said that it's very surprising that happened the way it did. Erica said she will continue Charlie's mission of Turning Point USA, not for political office. Yeah, and she's gonna have an interview, like a more wide-ranging interview. I heard this week with someone. So, and apparently she's gonna talk about some of the conspiracies going around. There's a lot of them, as we know. I do want to see some of the Tucker Carlson stuff. People are going after Tucker Carlson. Was Tucker's speech really that? See, look, there it is. There's the glass. It does surprise me a little bit they did that because it's indoor. You'd think everything would be contained. But I guess you better to be safe than sorry. The H-1B ban will reduce immigration a lot. 200K H-1Bs issued per year. And no, I thought it was 85K. Are you sure it's 200K? Or is that like the soft cap is 85K or something? Because I agree there's more, but they were trying to say that there was 85K only. And then you bring 6 people over, that's why you get 1 million green. Yeah, no, I know they bring their families. So it's a huge problem. Tucker's speech was a little odd, but it wasn't the worst. Tucker Carlson is force faking his laugh. Yeah, but it's his signature. It's like a finisher, in wrestling. It's a finishing maneuver. The laugh. Did you see Nick Fuentes is going to take Candace Owens for ribs? Well, thanks for the update. I'll have to look out for that. I hope I'll be able to watch that vlog in the future. Soft cap is 85K, but they always go over. Last year was 150 or 200. Definitely 6 figures. Yeah, right. I mean, how's it an 85K cap if it goes to 150? It's like fucking double almost.
Better to die a young man in this world than to sell your soul for an easy life with no purpose, no risk, no love, and no truth. Christ told us in the Gospel of John, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Better to die a young man in this world than to sell.
Bring Simon Phoenix out of cryo freeze. Do you know the movie reference? No, I don't, man.
At what he might say and what he would encourage me to do. And here's what I think. I think he would encourage me to be honest that evil still walks among us. Not to ignore it for the sake of a fake kumbaya moment, but to address it head on and honestly as the sickness that it is.
Yeah, the reason that there would be, you know, a less of a crowd in these sections is because he's speaking right there. So you're not going to be able to, those are, you know, terrible seats for this type of event.
But I also think he would encourage.
Imagine they open the roof. They never open the roof in this stadium, but I don't know if it was nice out. Maybe.
Encourage me. He would encourage all of us to focus on the good. He would encourage us to remember that for every hateful voice celebrating his murder, there are 1,000 people mourning it and fighting for his legacy every single day. He would tell me to pray. I'm certain of it. He would tell me to pray for my friends, but also for my enemies. He would tell me to put on the full armor of God and get back to work.
So that's Vance speaking. Trump and Musk. Do you think JD is over or under 6 foot? I don't know. I think Vance is like 6'1" or something. Maybe I'm not sure. Vance doesn't strike me as a short person. He seems like he's 6'1" or something. How tall is Vance? He's 6'3". Yeah, so he's taller than Trump. What percentage of people on the left would you say are decent people? Well, I mean, the internet brings out the worst in everyone, but I think there's just so many rudimentary disagreements with the left. It's like there's a lot of them. I'm sure are fine people. Honestly, I'm sure they're normal people, but there's so many disagreements in terms of just the foundation of American history and how the country was built. So, like I would say, I can't really give you a number. Talking about inches, come on. I mean, you're talking about come on. You're thinking about that. You're the one thinking about it. I don't know why, man. You like Don Jr.?
The true extremists are those who would justify and celebrate taking an innocent life over nothing more than disagreement. That is the real radicalism, and we reject it completely. Charlie
Don Jr. trying to run for VP?
In his belief that people could be persuaded. He believed the way to win hearts was with truth, with courage, and with conversation. He would always be the first to say, "You are welcomed here."
He looks like a seal in a suit. I can't explain it. like a seal at the zoo.
And that's what I want to leave you with today. If we're truly going to honor Charlie properly, his loss cannot be the end of the story. His legacy must be that when they took his life, 1 million more Charlies stepped up to fill the void.
I thought you meant... No, I didn't think you meant that. I was gonna say I thought you meant a Navy SEAL, but I immediately knew what you meant. Whoa. Weird still frame. Like, where's the Tucker laugh? I mean, that's...
My pastor texted me the day after that horrific event and said, Pete, the devil overplayed his hand. Charlie started with liberty, but ended up lighting our country on fire for Christ. He started Turning Point USA, but this moment is the turning point for the USA. My pastor...
Pete Hegseth trying to get some notoriety. No, Pete, it's a good speech. You think the administration will push for more births and more families? Yeah, I mean, they might try and do something. They've already got something. You know, they're giving $1,000 to every baby born. And then it's going to be invested into the S&P. Bruh. Where's the cat? Bruh. The cat's sleeping. I'm being serious. How about Jack Posobiec? Speech. It's probably on here.
Look, I think he had a tremendous impact on young Americans in general. I think he had a very special and direct impact on young men in this country. That's one of the greatest developments I've seen. It's been very positive. I think we remember him for that.
You think everyone who spoke was auditioning for VP? It kind of felt like that a little bit, but I don't think a lot of these people have much of a shot at VP. It feels like Gabbard or Rubio to me.
I think we remember him for constantly saying, you want to live a productive life, get married, start a family, love your country. These are powerful messages. But I hope many who are watching, I imagine there are people watching here tonight that didn't know much about Charlie Kirk until 11 days ago. Maybe they were disengaged from politics. Maybe they were partially engaged. I hope one of the things they take from this is that the movement Charlie Kirk led and started and gave fuel to was about politics, but not only about politics. It was deeper, it was broader. And I would say that, taking the liberty, but I'm confident he would agree, one of the things he wants us to take away from this, from all of this, is the following. His deep belief that we were all created, every single one of us, before the beginning of time, by the hands of the God of the universe.
It's real. This is the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever seen. And I don't... Whatever happens next in America, I hope it's in this direction, because God is here and you can feel it. And Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in It's Real. This is the most...
He was getting into it. He was getting into the story.
It's real. This is the most unbelievable thing.
Stephen Miller. A lot of people talking about the everyone being galvanized, and you know, this is a big change and this is the turning point. I've seen a lot of that. And so we'll just have to see what happens. There are elections in November, obviously the midterms, things like that. But Stephen Miller had a great speech. Yeah, a lot of them were very, like, it felt like the speeches kept getting longer and longer. Stephen Miller, I felt like, had a very short speech. Which I guess the early speakers, speak for a less amount of time, and then Trump gives a big speech, and Kirk gives a big speech.
Friends, are you ready to continue the mission? Are you ready to fight back? And are you ready to put on the full armor of God and face the evil in high places and the spiritual warfare before us? Then put on the full armor of God. Do it now. Now is the time. This is the place. This is the turning point for Charlie. God bless to all of you. God bless to everyone, to Charlie's family, to all the families. And Charlie, till we meet again, brother.
So, Jack Posobiec getting people fired up. Valhalla. Kash Patel.
Will Western civilization endure? Or will it fracture in two, like so many predict? Well, I say to you that a century from now, when they write of the 2 or 3 pivotal moments that led to the saving of Western civilization, they will write that the sacrifice of Charles James Kirk was the turning point.
Expectations are all over the place. Either they don't care enough or they're too passionate. Everyone makes it impossible to be correct. Well, I haven't really seen much of that. I've just seen people say it's a grift to use Kirk's death as a way to register voters and like a propaganda thing, like a Trump rally, they were saying. Benny Boy.
Who feels the Holy Spirit in the house tonight? Who can feel that revival happening right now?
Bobby Kennedy had the most genuine speech. He can relate a lot with the family's pain. It's true. Have you considered covering voter registration trends in a separate video? I know they're not everything, but it's very interesting to see what states are trending. Yeah, I did do that maybe like a month and a half. I can look over it and stuff. I know there's some interesting numbers out of Virginia. I hear Virginia might be an interesting one to watch. Youngkin won it in 2021. It's not looking great this go around, but we'll have to see. I know, there's a few races happening this fall. New Jersey is another one. Obviously, the mayoral race in New York, but I think that's kind of decided, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately in the long run. Ironically, this is the turning point, right? And I know it's the turning point in USA. It's the turning point for the country. Convicted. You're conflicted about politicizing his death because he wanted more people to be registered. Yeah, this is what he would have wanted, but I mean, it's kind of like it's understandable that they would do this and they would register people there and stuff, but it is one of those things. I mean, but this is more so a memorial, right? It's like an honorance. It's a remembrance of Kirk. It isn't the actual funeral. I probably should have titled the title of this memorial. Wonder how many people listened online. Had to be millions. It was insane. Charlie Kirk's official YouTube account, YouTube live stream was around 700K. I think it peaked out around 700. I saw it at like 650K. And that's just one stream on YouTube. And YouTube they have the right numbers in terms of, with X, you start a live stream. It's not an accurate live view count on X. You have to understand it's the total views. It's not active live views. Right. No, you're probably right. Probably less viewers.
And therefore God exalted him to the highest place.
Kirk's channel is breaking the algorithm. Honestly, you're right. You are right. And it's just like a crazy thing because, he already had a big channel, but now it's like, it's just going bonkers. You saw 751K. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a live stream. When Candace Owens had 200K on YouTube, like last week when she rolled out her first conspiracy, I was like, that's a ton. 750K is remarkable. Will the NFL put Turning Point USA in the end zone like they did for BLM? No, they won't. They're not going to do that. Say they got to stand behind glass now. Yeah, but you couldn't even really tell. I mean, I honestly, I'm a little bit surprised they had the glass there. Maybe I shouldn't have been. It's better to be safe than sorry. But it is an indoor, stadium. Yeah, I've been getting recommended a lot of Kirk, and it is insane like how different it is. Because I remember watching some of the clips before he passed versus after he passed, and the impact of the passing, as in terms of how you view the clip, is pretty insane. Just as a self-reflection. Glass was very clean. Didn't even know until they zoomed out. No, I thought it was very well done. Yeah, very well done. You couldn't even really tell.
It doesn't matter because I'm going to make sure that he doesn't get to serve again when I win for governor in November of this year.
There's another big difference between her public service and my public service. It actually cost me money the time I put in and took away from my company. In the 7 years that she's been in Congress, she's tripled her net worth. There's another big difference between the two of us, okay? She broke the law. She had to pay fines for violating federal law on stock trades and stock reporting, and the New York Times reports that while you're sitting on the House Armed Services Committee, you were trading defense stocks.
Jack, it doesn't matter because I'm going to make sure.
So that's the New Jersey gubernatorial debate there. Musk tweeting out 11 million interactions. Or I guess that's views, not interactions. Or maybe it's interactions. Hmm. Jack will lose by a point, you think? It'd be unfortunate, but if it's that close, it is bullish for the New Jersey overall. In terms of it turning right. You heard Jimmy Kimmel may get his show back. I heard he's suing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with it. Thoughts on crazy liberal shooting at ABC headquarters because of Kimmel? It's not surprising, unfortunately. Those people are professional victims. Man, what an HD photo this is. Holy hell. Are you going to have a final prediction video for the New Jersey governor's race? I mean, it's not yet. Yeah, they've been showing this video. These were the two police officers in England, the United Kingdom, that showed up to a door. I don't know why these women are out doing this. It doesn't make sense. What they won't tell you is that was the counter protest location. Cute on the left. Yeah, that girl was she was good looking. Israel strikes, kills 4 American citizens in Lebanon, 3 of which were children. Their forces say it's under review. Phil Mickelson is getting political. I've seen him say, he's like a Republican. Have you done any public speaking? Not really, no. Breaking 911. Right. Again, this stuff has got to be stomped out. This is it's a complete false premise. But it was 90% white until, well, they're saying until 1980, 80%. It was 90% white until 1970. Or 1965, at least, with the Immigration Act. But it was built on immigration. It was built on Caucasian, Western European immigration. Is that the immigration of today? I mean, don't you think that's a little bit disingenuous to say the country was built on immigration when the immigration of today? I mean, again, we'll take Western European, Caucasian immigration. I think that'd be fine. That's not the immigration we're getting now. So see, this is the problem. They mislabel history and then to try and shape their arguments. '80s is a weird time to stop at. It should be '60s or '70s. It's always '65, really, because the Immigration Act is when people normally do it. I don't know why he picked '80. I think more so to try and hammer home the point. But the H-1B, the H-1B stuff, these people arguing for it, and I don't even see many liberals arguing for it, honestly. I don't think liberals really like the H-1B stuff. Maybe some of them do. I mean, some of them are going to argue always for the immigrants. But the H-1B stuff is such a sham for American workers. Like, even if you want to get into this argument of, well, marginally it'll affect the economy or our GDP won't go up, by the same percentage or whatever, I don't think people really care. I mean, there's no innovation lost with these H-1Bs going away. There really isn't. We have the O1 still. I mean, if they're exceptional, you come in through the O1. How about the Browns? Dude, the Browns, they got like 200 yards of offense. They somehow win. Shows you how bad the Packers just blocked kick, blocked field goal. Have you ever been concerned that you could be a target? If I'm a target, there's 5,000 Republican influencers in front of me that are targets before me. I'm not saying that to be a pussy. I'm just saying in general. I mean, I'm a very low profile target. You see how Antifa's been in Paris rioting? I don't know. It's just all low life scum. I haven't seen it. Trump at least is hopefully going to arrest those people if they do it here. Hopefully there's a serious arrest, especially if they're labeled somehow labeled terrorists. I don't know if you can label domestic groups terrorist organizations. You can label them like terror cells or some shit, I think. Auburn OU refs. Dude, oh my god. I got like 40 tweets. I'm not even, my Twitter, my personal Twitter, the DJings Twitter, whatever the fuck it is. Normally I get like 80% politics, 20% sports. Dude, I got like 20 tweets on my timeline specifically from that game's officiating. It's like, bro, I had to hit stop recommending, like, you hit this. Not interested in this post. You were at the Browns game? I haven't been to a Browns game since 2013. Want to fake an attack on you so you can get more followers? That would mainstream me. No, it wouldn't. You keep getting liberal tweets on your... Yeah, sometimes liberal tweets are spoken on. It's like the snarky bullshit liberal tweets and shit like that. I do... Those do irritate me, I'm not gonna lie. It's the snarky ones, because the normal liberal bullshit, where it's like, oh, we love immigrants, all this, like, alright. It's the snarky ones that irritate me, it really is. It's the ones that may have a hint of truth, or like, like, the Gen Z type fucking Zoomer bullshit. Have you tried getting the iPhone 17 Pro? Hesitated? No, I'm probably not getting it. I'm not real. I don't really care about when they release new iPhones. I have like the 14 right now. It doesn't really. I don't need the exact new iPhone to really function. Like when a new one gets released, I never go, oh, I have to get that ever with an iPhone. I'm always end up like, I had like the 8. Now I have I had maybe the 9. Maybe I had the 9. I had the 5, then the 9. Now I have the 14. I think I had the 9 and the 10. Now I have the 14 or 15 or something. I think the 14. The 14S. Or I don't even know if they're doing the S's now, but no, I never really get obsessed with getting a new iPhone. I mean, if you're rich enough, you can just upgrade every time, I guess, but the upgrading is... Actually, you know what? I hear it's seamless now. You just insert the card or whatever, the SIM card. Do they still have that? You insert that in and you get basically the same exact phone. You don't have to re-download anything. That's what I had to do the last time. I got a new phone 2 years ago. You're using iPhone 15 Pro Max? I have to get a Max. I have to get the bigger screen. That's what I got to get. I didn't get the bigger screen. I got the 14. I mean, the screen is still a decent size, even on the normal size iPhones. But the bigger screen is better, especially when you're trying to use it to work or just for function. There aren't SIM cards anymore, all eSIM. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Still rocking your iPhone 14, but that's not that old of a phone. Thoughts on countries recognizing Palestine as a state? A lot of the Western countries are doing that now. Yeah, I mean, I think the Israeli support in the West is at basically an all-time low. And I mean, just in terms of what they've done to Gaza, they can do what they do, but if their, you know, propaganda fails to the level it is, it's a huge issue for them. They're not going to get the support. They still have the support in the United States, but it really is, you know, and it's making Trump look bad now with all of these other Western, you know, liberal governments recognizing it, because now Trump looks like a total shill by being the only one that is standing against it. And Trump is going to allow some type of annexation. It's going to happen. I think it's going to be within the West Bank. And then they're going to, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to get the people, you know, whether or not the people are forced to leave. That's going to be real ugly. Obviously here because we lean the same way, but Trump's speech today was too much. Just rambling at some points, too political. Well, I mean, have you listened to any Trump speeches before? When Trump has these big speeches, whether it's an RNC, you know, Republican convention, whether it's even during a State of the Union, I mean, it's the same thing. It's long, it's rambling. That's just what his speeches are. Now you could say, well, this is a different thing, but this wasn't even a funeral, really. It was more of a celebration of Kirk. So obviously he's going to tell stories and things like that. And there's going to be some you know, propaganda mixed in, things like that. I mean, but you can relate it back to Kirk. What's your take on Massey? It's just shameless grifting at this point, and it's just the same stuff over. And even look at Massey, and this is what Massey should get called out for. He's talking about the Epstein files. Where was the demands to release the Epstein files when liberals were in office? Now the Epstein files you're supposedly a Republican. But this is the grift with Massey. It's I'm anti-Israel, I'm a badass, all right, man. Trump included Charlie in all his stories. Right. He would tie it back to Kirk in a way, for sure.
Okay, what was it?
Sorry, I don't like the camera. You can have my body cam. I can exhibit that to you. I just don't like the camera, really.
Okay, well, I'm doing this because this is
Why does she not like the camera? Don't they have body cams there or something? I mean, these are police officers.
my own house, and I am telling you why I'm doing it. So I just need to know why would she's basically viewed a post which is not an arrestable offence.
Viewed an offence, that's been.
Okay.
It happened in May, and you're completely fine. The only thing is, we need to seize the phone at this current moment.
Yeah.
Say to you, the phone needs to get seized from us, otherwise we will escalate this further. So,
but with a voluntary interview.
So have you seized anyone else? Is she the only child you're picking on?
Voluntary interview. You'd be able to
have you spoken to anyone else? No, we'll come to the station now.
Do you mind letting her finish her sentence before?
Yeah. She does have to get further escalation, unfortunately.
That's fine. We'll come to the station now.
Wait, so she viewed a tweet? Come on, this can't be real. How do they even know you're viewing a social? What you're scrolling online? You're scrolling and it's an interaction somehow. If that's your police, you're screwed. Yeah, those are the police officers.
The phone isn't seized right now, and we're not able to basically get the phone. We'd have to escalate this further, which means your daughter will get arrested.
For what? Viewing a social?
She's like 10 years old. She's like 10 years old. It makes sense, Kirk's memorial service to be a literal Trump rally. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it. I mean, yeah, there was definitely some Trump stuff mixed in, and it does make sense for there to be registration there. That's what Kirk would want.
Social media post, is that?
I need to go with that in order to.
You let the blind in without a warrant, bro. Yeah, I know. I saw this video circulating. It's just like, this girl is sad as fuck. I mean, but I mean, you know, obviously the incompetence of these women, the police officers. It's like, one of them's Muslim. I mean, but I guess that's the UK now. She can't be deported. She's an American citizen.
For me, is I feel embarrassed for him because in these attacks, what he does, and I think with the likes of Nancy Mace and whoever that Randy guy is, they expose themselves for how stupid they are. And that is embarrassing for us as a country because these are people who are elected to positions of leadership. He's supposed to be the president of the United States, who's heading off to Europe to represent us. But
I just don't understand. Why doesn't someone just ask this woman, you don't like our country. Why are you in a leadership position? Why have all of your friends migrated from Somalia to poor old Minneapolis or wherever the fuck the district is in Minnesota? You don't like the country. You don't like the history of the country. You don't like what we were founded on. This is why culture matters in the United States. This is a perfect case study. Like, I don't even know what are you arguing? We have our own country. You have your own country. Are we trying to change Somalia? Well, that's what they argue. They say, well, we destroy other countries, so they should get to destroy our country. If not, she cheated on her immigration papers. I don't know what she did, honestly. I don't know what the obsession is with coming in and then taking a leadership position and getting power. Because you've got a bunch of other Somalians that move here and you move to a district and you take it over. Really? She needs to remove the do-rag. What about the police officer? Yeah, well, Steven Crowder, I don't know if that's right. Steven Crowder does have a lot of scoops. He must have connections or something, because he got the manifesto of that the trans shooter in Tennessee, the church covenant. Just seething in envy, seething in envy. See, I think people have to understand this is like rage bait, right? Like this is obvious rage bait, because they say this a lot about, the Trump rallies and stuff. This is rage bait, and Republicans fall for it, but it's like, I guess, people hate destiny, but it's obvious he's rage baiting, in my opinion. I don't think he's being serious with that. If she was kicked out over fraud on her immigration papers, the libs in Minneapolis it would all be the Somalians rioting. They're rioting for, it's like their country has moved into Minnesota. So the libs in Minnesota, most of them would just be Somalians rioting. And then also, I guess, white liberals. Did you see Trump and Elon made up? Yeah, I know. People have been talking about that. They made up a while ago, man. Elon's been donating to Trump again for like 3 months after he scrapped the idea of doing the America Party. JD said when he told Trump about Charlie passing, Trump was silent for a good moment and then said Charlie was a good guy. I think Trump was good at bottling up emotions. Yeah, no, I saw what Vance had said. I did see that exact clip, or whenever Vance was speaking about that. He said it a few different times. He said it on a Fox News interview. I saw it. But, yeah, look, I mean, I guess people criticize Trump, for not grieving enough? Is that what it is? Yeah, I know. That's the thing with Destiny. It's just constant rage baiting. It's trying to make people angry. It's like being the most edgy. All right, bro. But the problem is a lot of these people, they get really angry over it, so he gets happy. It's like a troll dynamic. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about Charlie Kirk is really, if you look at Charlie Kirk's videos and what he said, he did have really sound fundamental arguments in terms of just the problems with the black community and things of that nature that were not racist at all. He would go light on them, actually, compared to a lot of other people on the right. Isn't Destiny a literal cuck? His wife left him because, yeah, well, they had an open relationship. He's a retard. You're not gonna do open What's the point of a relationship if it's open? And then people told him on podcasts, they said it's not gonna work. And then he does the whole, oh, we'll see. And of course, they divorce in like a year. It's one of the most pathetic things I've seen on the internet. They tell him, hey, this relationship's not gonna work. It's an open relationship. That shit doesn't work. That dynamic doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. Obviously, you don't love each other if you're gonna fuck other people. Do you see the dude she left him for? It's like a Reddit 120-pound kid, I think. Like a surfer bro or something. It's like a barista. Like a male barista. I think I saw it, him. He likes his relationship like his borders. Well, they need the borders open. That's where they get their voters, bro. Just bothers you the left celebrated. Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Maybe I was surprised by the scope and how dumb they were, like posting it on TikTok and stuff. And that one girl, man, that woman is a grade A bitch. This woman posts a video. Okay, the first video gets a ton of backlash. And it's this condescending liberal bullshit where she's like, well, there was another shooting in Colorado, and this Charlie Kirk, he said it was important that people had the rights to guns, even if there were shootings. Then she posts another video the same day, and it's the same condescending bullshit. Then she posts a video 4 or 5 days later after her husband or her boyfriend's business was getting harassed. And she tries to play the victim. She says, you guys did all of this to me. I'm getting death threats now. And so it's 3 videos, and there's no accountability in any of the videos. There's no self-ownership of making fun of this dude who was shot in front of everyone on, in terms of the internet. Everyone saw it. And blood spewing everything everywhere out of his neck. And there's just no accountability. And it's 3 videos. You had 2 other chances. It's like, that's how self-absorbed these people are. It's always, I'm the victim. And now even just the liberals in general, it's this fake galvanization with Jimmy Kimmel. Where it's like, now we care about free speech. Okay, are we really going to do this, man? I'm not going to sit here and do this with liberals where it's like, now they care about free speech after controlling everything on social media for like 7 years and vehemently arguing that because they controlled all of the social media, they had a right to be able to ban conservatives because they're private companies. Now we're really going to do the opposite argument seriously? And they are doing it. Hillary Clinton said, oh, she did the whole fucking, I mean, I don't know exactly what the tweet is, but it's all the exhibition of, oh, free speech is so important. Really? Seriously? Now, for, like it's almost too fake. It sounds too ridiculous to be real. Now they're going to argue for free speech. I'm not doing this, man. I just can't do it. It's insane. And we have to see these exhibition tweets where it's like, oh, now they want free speech. But again, their own dynamic would work against them. Well, I mean, they can take it. It's not even the argument of free speech, because Kimmel was not arrested. If he was arrested, yeah, it'd be a violation of free speech. ABC can take him off. Keith Olbermann, yeah, he's got a political degenerate syndrome. He does. You think down the line someone more moderate and fair will come along and save the Dems, but not anytime soon? I don't know, man. Seems like both parties are just the opposite. I mean, they're just in such different realms right now. Do you like James O'Keefe? I don't really watch a ton of James O'Keefe stuff. What do you think about people saying Kirk would have been president with his work ethic and talent? It seems possible. No, 100%. I mean, dude, at 31 years old to have this type of funeral, the reach is insane for someone of 31. I mean, this is seriously like how mainstream Kirk was for being 31 years old. That's 4 years before you can even run for president. So to put that into perspective, it's pretty remarkable. But at least, you know, in Congress, but you could say that he was more important and more valuable and more powerful outside of political office. Being able to go to all the campuses, so many campuses within a year, do all the debates, register voters, all of the stuff on social media, all the interactions he would get, you know, accounts with like 5 million followers. Why did they turn the funeral service into an RNC convention? Well, it was a remembrance, I think. It's a remembrance, and that's just how politics are. You know, there's a lot of viewers and stuff, so there's going to be some propagandizing this, I mean, in the name of Kirk. You feel like ABC was waiting for a moment to dub him? More people watch endless reruns of ridiculousness. Yeah, that could be an argument as well. His ratings were down every year for the last 6 years. So if the ratings keep going down and he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money, maybe it became a serious problem for them in terms of him not generating the ratings. I mean, the advertisers dry up, or they don't pay as much for their time slot because the ratings are lower. There's not enough viewers. I mean, maybe there was something like that at play. Because he was, again, it's not even just like a conservative thing. He was like 6 straight years. The ratings kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Charlie had the perfect height to be president, would have mogged everyone. Yeah, he was very tall. Were there any mainstream liberals at the memorial? I didn't see any, but they were focused mainly on the speeches when I was watching. Boomer libs like Starmer, Carney, Keith Olbermann with the boomer fade, though. Yeah, but that's like a normal hairstyle, I feel like. Oh. Wow. $700? What's the point of Lyft if you're going to a major event and they price gouge you at the rate of $700? Isn't that the time you would use the fucking Uber shit? I don't know, man. I've had to use Uber a few times. It just seems like such a fucking waste of money. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's always like, even if it's a short distance, it's minimum like $40. And Democrats are mad. Republicans are registering people at the funeral. No, I mean, I don't see how anyone can argue this. This is a beautiful. This is the correct point, 100%. This is as true as you can get on a point. You used Lyft for an airport and it's $15. Would you go like 5 feet? Uber also knows when your battery is low. Come on, that should be illegal. They know when your phone battery is low. Stop. Wouldn't Trump have won all 50 states if it was 85% white? I don't think so. No, because there are a lot of there are majority white people that are extremely liberal in like Massachusetts, and it's mainly the Northeast. And they try and correlate those states. They're like, well, these are in terms of IQ the best states. Well, it's because it's fucking like 90% Caucasian. That's the reason. They try and say because it's liberal. Yeah. But those people are very liberal, the white people there. PBD had a good seat. Yeah, he's rich. You hate conspiracy theories sometimes, but makes you think Deep State had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death. Maybe they couldn't handle another Trump like 2016. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big believer in those conspiracies, man. But you never know. I mean, the Charlie Kirk conspiracy. It seems like it lacks evidence. Seems like it's mainly done by the same actors that always talk about conspiracies and the same people doing it. I mean, but what even is, in this sense, I don't see it. That's how you know that the right is more forgiving than the left, when the fucking widow will forgive Robinson for her husband. Yeah, I mean, that religious Christianity says you should forgive, so. But yeah, I mean, that was a powerful moment. A lot of people, and I saw in the comments, people say she wasn't going to mention the killer. But because also, I mean, technically it's an open case. Or not an open case, but he's just been charged. But that kid seems completely uncooperative. It seems that's what these people do. They shell up and they don't talk. I don't think Robinson has said a word. Has Candace Owens been backtracking her Israel did it theory? You've seen it. I mean, it doesn't matter. She gets the views for it. It doesn't, like, what is she gonna like? It's not like there's gonna be a ton of accountability if she backtracks. So people don't really care. Like, they're still gonna follow her. And I think Candace Owens is, but it's just like, it seems disingenuous to me. Nah. How come you didn't post any WNBA playoff predictions? Funny. Is this a memorial or a GOP convention? Well, it's a political event. It's a combination. It's a memorial. Just wanted to confirm she's a grifter so I can disregard all future theories. Well, I mean, with her, it's like, it's just there's going to be a lot of Israel stuff. I mean, the Israel is a huge topic. It's like the ultimate, ooh, Israel did it, and they control everything. I mean, that's what it is with younger people now. And certainly there is some truth to the influence for sure. So that's why it's able to fester and all these things fester. Chris, what's up, man? Libs are going to hold a Kimmel memorial service now. Yeah, right. You could almost think they will with the amount of victimization they try and portray. It didn't really feel like a memorial for Charlie specifically. On the other hand, you think he would have wanted to use his memory for political gains? Yeah, 100%. But I don't think it was really. I mean, it's more of a celebration. When you have that many people, it's hard to like, oh, they're all going to be somber and sad. It's a different thing entirely if you got like 70,000 people or 80,000 people convened in a small area like that. You're going to try and keep it upbeat. It's just there's so many people involved. But I mean, I understand obviously there were some moments where they wanted to try and propagandize it to a degree. Is PBD Patrick Bet David really his name? You thought he's Persian? David is Jewish last name now. Yeah, I don't know if his name's Patrick. It seems he's from Iran. That seems like it'd be surprising if that was his name, if that was his real name. But I don't know. I heard it was. I was surprised, honestly. Why did they have such a long ceremony? Because the amount of people that spoke. And Trump always goes over when he talks. Or when he does these speeches. Just don't understand how these dudes in rifles keep getting on roofs with no one noticing. Yeah, well, the thing is there's that one video, and someone actually did notice. It was a civilian. They said, why is that dude up there on that roof? But, I mean, has he been interviewed at all? I'd like to interview that dude. There's a one video. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. But it doesn't show the shot or anything. What do you think about the statue that's going to be made? Unless it's guarded and protected, it's going to get destroyed in 24 hours. I don't think. What do you mean? Where's the statue on UVU's campus? Or I'm not sure where the statue is going up, because I've heard them talk about a statue of Kirk sitting, you know, with like a debate me type setup and stuff. And I mean, I think that would be a really good tribute. You stand more with Trump, you're not forgiving. Yeah, that's what Trump said in relation to Kirk. If you have a cure for autism, it's not going to be a cure for autism. I don't know. People were talking about it's something to do with eating habits, or I thought it was something to do with the vaccines and autism or something. I don't think it's a cure for autism. Future of Major League Baseball? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Major League Baseball ever since they instituted the pitch clock. Any idea why BTC and Ethereum is dumping? Well, that would probably be September woes of crypto. Or I don't know. There might be some micro news that's bad. I haven't seen the news on economics and so recently. So maybe there was something that came out today, bad numbers. Texans Jaguars game. Yeah, a lot of these games are ugly, man. They're very ugly. This is ugly football. These are ugly. There's really something wrong with these offenses in the NFL. This is why I like college more. These games are really ugly. They seriously are bad. Tylenol during pregnancy. A breakthrough's been revealed. That's what causes autism. Do you like the Cleveland Guardians? I think they're an annoying team. I mean, I used to love the Indians. I just think nothing changes with them. And they've got like the third worst offense in baseball, and their fans are like, it's like, why do you cheer this shit? Like, this team is just not good. It's just not a good team. I know they go on this run. It's just, and then the ownership gets away with it. Do you think Trump did a good speech today? I think it was a typical Trump speech. Whether you think that's good or bad, I mean, it's a typical Trump speech. He delivered. Yeah, their batting practice jerseys. That's how the MLB is, though. MLB is getting really cheap. Late stage capitalism is at MLB. Bruh. Yeah, I don't know why the Giants are playing on a Sunday night game. It's just not a good team. Next, you were reading for Ethereum. It's time for the liquidity sweep before the bull run. Well, Ethereum has been running, or previously was, for about a month. It was up like 40% in the past month or so. Because it ran to 4,700. Yeah, we need Ethereum at 10K, 10 to 12,000. You know, I was thinking, I mean, you look at something like Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin was never meant to be, and it is now. I mean, unquestionably, Bitcoin is stored value. It was never meant to be. Think about the mining of Bitcoin. Yes, it's harder to mine Bitcoin every 4 years with the halving, but I mean, the supply of Bitcoin increases. So it's just interesting in the world of crypto. You can manipulate supply, you know, a number of ways, but Bitcoin was always supposed to be a currency. It wasn't supposed to be stored value. But obviously, it is stored value. Cryptocurrency in general, it's too volatile to be currency. Are you going to Amfest? You are, and keep hearing peers thinking about it. Hotels all sold out. Haven't what? Yeah, that's crazy. So Charlie Kirk does the the America Fest, abbreviated Amfest, and they're doing. I mean, this one's going to be insane. I don't plan on going, but this one is going to be insane. I can tell, because obviously, you know, without Kirk, I'm sure there's going to be a huge turnout. They always do it right up against Christmas. Ben Carson was amazing today. Also, Marco Rubio. Yeah, there were some good speeches for sure. Pretty crazy when you realize that inflation is necessary for a commodity to act like a currency. Well, it's pretty crazy when you evolve into realizing centralized governments and something like the Federal Reserve is necessary for a major economy. Like, people say end the Fed. Well, okay, so who's going to balance interest rates? You know, if Trump puts interest rates right at 1%, you think that's good? Like, there's just no forethought. You're trying to stack Ethereum, so we'll take the sale price. Yeah, I wouldn't be stacking Ethereum, man. That's a fucking lost cause. Dude, I hope Ethereum does a 2x this cycle. Unless you're like a multi-millionaire. Dude, stacking Ethereum is a lost cause. You might as well buy Chainlink or ADA or HBAR. You might as well buy Internet Computer. Rather than cure cancer or Alzheimer's, then autism, not saying it's a bad thing, but those are more important in your opinion. Well, I mean, we're not going to pick and choose what they're going to cure. If they can cure something that affects a lot of people, I think it's, you know, what about Russia with the cancer vaccine? Have you seen that? We'll see what happens with that. They're saying they got a cancer vaccine. Russia is. But who do you think Vance is going to pick as his running mate? I think it's going to be Rubio or Tulsi Gabbard. One speech you find kind of odd was the guy that you watched the first-hand account of what happened. He repeated it for some reason. Well, it's an impactful. Wait, in the SUV you're talking about? What platform do you use to buy coins? I use Uniswap and Phantom, Radian for Solana, Uniswap V2, Uniswap V2, V3, but mainly V2. Although actually, I think it's mainly V3 now. But Base is a decent, which is through Uniswap as well. It's a layer 2 of Ethereum. Base is coming out with their own native token now, apparently. You think inflation is going to help redistribute wealth from old people to young people in theory, but because it also inflates assets, it screws the young? Well, inflation in most cases has to exist to a degree. Deflation is a significant problem. But inflation has to be managed, you know. It can't go past a certain percent. When it goes to what it went in 2021, it starts having adverse effects on all of the different sectors. And now we've got a huge housing problem. And I don't know, the problem with that, I think it's a housing issue. I don't even think it's necessarily a rent apartment problem. It's starter homes. That's the problem that we have in America. It's starter homes. They're too fucking expensive. People can't buy them. It's just too much money. If starter homes are $400,000, which they are in a decent majority white suburb or an upscale suburb, it's a problem. You think Solana is good? Well, Solana, the chain is certainly good. The coin will probably do like a 4x for the rest of the run, maybe a 3x. I think it'll go to like $750. Solana is not a place I would build an altcoin on. I'm not interested. I think Solana at this point, I only really buy Ethereum coins because of the culture within Solana. It's really destructive. The pump fund culture. Just nobody holds on Solana. Solana is brutal. Housing prices are ridiculous in Virginia outside DC. Yeah, it's any suburb, man. But for me, it's the starter homes. That's the thing. If you got like a nice 3,500 square foot home, it's like $600K. I could understand it. With the starter homes, $400K. Trump was sitting right above you, seeing 4 or 5 of U.S. presidents in one room was insane. Musk too. How was the event? What would you say the event? How do you think the event was done? They said that there was problems getting in and getting out. Mogcoin still got a chance. SPX. I mean, if we have a bull run, of course, those are higher cap memes. They should do well. Remember Charlie Kirk went to Greenland? That's right, he went to Greenland with Don Jr. When Fed was introduced, there weren't Social Security. You guess the theory was for old people to live off of their own savings and wealth redistribution via inflation eroded their savings. Yeah, but there's something like that. I don't know what we're going to return to, but it's going to have to be something where, you know, obviously Social Security is not manageable. It just doesn't work because the population is not high enough. The new population. Old people are living too long. There's not enough new people. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone within Gen Z thinks they're going to have Social Security. There has to be you have to structure your own retirement. You have to structure an entire plan through investments now to be able to, and like you could say, well, this is terrible. And America is very expensive in general, but I mean, you still have all these people from other countries trying to get into the United States. You know, comparing us to other countries, we're still going to grade out extremely well. Just the amount of opportunities in the United States, it's really unmatched because of our capitalist economic system. It was poor getting in because they had nowhere near enough crowd control, but once it was dealt with, it was fine. Energy in the room was insane. Erica Kirk hate is insane. JD Vance is 48. Yeah, I heard there were issues. There seems to be at these some of these Trump events. There seems to be a lot of planning problems, from what I hear. They didn't have enough people. You're saying? Will Gen Z be ever able to be retired? Yeah, they'll retire if they have their own investments, their own money. They'll retire for sure. But that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Young people get pay raises via inflation. Hey, if you get a good company, they get pay raises. It's weird how Trump only tackles problems when they rise publicly, like when the Indian truck driver and Big Bull is being assaulted in D.C. The National Guard and H-1Bs should be day one rather than now. Well, I mean, I was surprised the H-1B came out the way in which it did. I didn't think Trump was really going to go after the H-1Bs based off of what he had previously said. But I mean, some of the stuff, I mean, it comes into the political moment, and so you can use what happened as a way to enact whatever change you want, whatever executive order you want to push. Phoenix was basically hosting a Super Bowl in September today. Yeah, no, it is. They had like the second highest level security. Only the first is like inauguration, things like that. So it was insane. Only hate you've seen towards Erica is from liberals accusing her of grifting. Yeah, that I've seen that as well. I haven't seen much outside of that. Your school didn't fire Billy Napier. Yeah, it's gonna come any week now. He's a dead man. You're 1-3. Yeah, but Florida's had it rough with their schedules the past 2 years, but they're gonna lose 8 games. They look at their schedule this year. They're already 1-3. They're gonna be 4-8 this year, maybe 3-9. You can't do that again. You can't be 4-8 at Florida. They're gonna have to fire him. But he was already on thin ice, Billy Napier. Why did Barron Trump not talk? It doesn't make sense for him to talk at something like this. He barely talks anyways in public. Would getting rid of illegals that pay into Social Security but didn't get any benefits from it, would it set it back any further? Yeah, but they make so little. They're on very, very... See, that's the other thing. In terms of the amount of taxes they pay, it's so little because a lot of them have very low salaries, so the taxes that they pay amount to very little amount overall. That's one of the arguments they try and make as well, they're paying taxes and stuff. But the taxes that they're paying are minuscule, especially in, the society that we have where the rich pay so much of the taxes anyways because they make so much of the money. So they don't pay money because a lot of them are on, they're on very, very low, especially, you're an illegal immigrant. You probably get paid under the table. You might get below minimum wage. How much are you paying in terms of taxes? Alex Clark's speech. She's having an interview. She's having an interview with Erica Kirk. PBD was being ripped online for allowing one guest to lie about Candace not being a part of Turning Point USA for many years. If PBD has the balls, he needs to get her on his show to defend herself. Yeah, I mean, this is like third grade gossip now with this type of stuff. I don't know. Not only that, but illegals send money back to their home country. It's worth way more. Look at Mexico. And what did Trump try and do? That's the remittance. 5% remittance. I think it was even 1%. I didn't even think he got 5%. Because why wouldn't they send it back to their home countries? It goes way further. You could get a mansion in Mexico for like, you know, a low wage job in the United States if you send the money back. You got to tax the shit out of that. They send the money back. I mean, that's just extractment from the United States completely when they do that. Who wins, USC or Illinois? It's hard to pick Illinois after that performance, man. Kirk's sister was there. I didn't know he had a sister. You should ask her to go on your live stream. Yeah, that'll go real well. You could buy a house in Africa with the Walgreens money. Truth. You work with a guy from the Philippines. He's here on a work visa. He's an asshole. Hope he gets deported. That's the other problem. How many of them are legal but they're on work visas? How many work visas are out there? Holy hell. They don't pay income tax, then they send the money outside of the country. It's a loss for everyone except the company hiring the illegal. Yeah. Then the company makes more money. What happened to Clemson? I don't know. I think Dabo Sweeney's in a really bad place. He won't accept accountability. The team is not doing well, and he just rages whenever anyone says your team is, you know, you're the way he looks at recruiting is prehistoric. He doesn't value NIL. And then he rips anyone who says anything bad about him. He's like a child. Do you think Trump and Elon will go anywhere, or is it just for show for the memorial? No, I think Elon really wants Vance, is what I've heard. Cal Raleigh, MVP, hell no. Hell no, bro. You can't hit 240, win the MVP. Stop. You're not hitting 240, winning the MVP, brother. Especially when Aaron Judge is hitting 330 with an 1120 OPS. Stop. Oh, you hit home runs, bro. You're hitting like 220. I mean, come on, big dog. You're hitting like 210. You're not winning MVP hitting 210, brother. Yeah, Gundy needs to be fired, bro. Gundy is that university is they're fucked, man. Oklahoma State, they can't even beat Tulsa. Didn't they lose to Tulsa like 2 years ago too? Then they lost to him again. Cal would have to hit 63 homers. I mean, dude, there's not a number. I mean, you can't be. He's behind so. Judge is way ahead in like OPS by like 200 points, man. You're ahead in 200 points. You're ahead by 200 points in OPS. Judge is gonna win the MVP. I'm sorry. Judge is ahead in WAR. I mean, you want to include catching, positional value. Judge is ahead by 2 or 3 points, maybe 3 points in WAR. Judge's WAR is like 9. I think Raleigh's is like 6 or 5.5. She's a Swiftie? Bro, total red flag. But that's pretty much all of them. You're going to have to date one of them. I mean, it's like how many of them are? It's all the white girls, just all Swifties. You're not going to get away. It's like a jungle. You're not the vine. It's everywhere. I mean, it's like a dense jungle. They're all Swifties. Switch hitting catcher. Need I say more? Right, like, and then that's what they try and say. They say he's a switch hitter. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's a switch hitter or not. I mean, there's a lot of switch hitters. There's a lot of switch hitters in baseball, man. You don't get extra points for being a switch hitter. Apologize for wearing an OAN shirt. I do remember. I think I remember that. The 2020s. Dude, the 2020s were insane. They would cancel people for donating like $15 to All Lives Matter. Oh man, it's bad. It was bad, but it's just crazy to reflect on it. They donate to All Lives Matter and they donate like $10 and they get canceled for that. How about the Bengals? Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I think Burrow is kind. I mean, he got injured. I get it, but I don't know. Burrow is like a prima donna, and it's unfortunate he keeps getting injured, but he seems like I don't know. I feel like I've seen some stuff with him. I know he's. I'm not gonna bring politics into it, but he seems like a prima donna to me. You want crypto knowledge? I don't know what coin do you want to invest into? I'll tell you if it's good or not. They wanted to rename the Masters tournament. Yeah, we can never go back to that, whatever the fuck that was in 2020. AMP coin. I don't know, what is that, America Party? Caspa, the influencer coin. 4chan. Yeah, 4chan's a great coin. Not financial advice. You bet on a personal level you are afraid of white minority. Well, there's many places where there's a high number. There's a high number of white people in the country. Look, I think the immigration needs to be stopped. I think the country was founded by Caucasians, and I would like to see the birth rate go up for sure. Which Republican or right winger would you say is equivalent to Harry Sisson? You think it's Laura Loomer or Benny Johnson? No. Harry Sisson's like 16 years old. Those are grown adults. So I don't think that's really a comparison. I mean, Laura Loomer is kind of a gossip, and it's always something with her, it seems like. But she likes that. She likes getting into these verbal matches. Need a cure for cancer? Well, that's the vaccine for Russia. That they got a vaccine for cancer apparently. Thoughts on Roth IRAs? A boomer final boss. The Roth IRA. No, I don't have a Roth IRA. I mean, I do have to start trying to devise a plan on that type of stuff. I'm waiting until the end of this bull cycle. You just got one through your job tax free. That's because I don't have a normie job. I never received a Roth IRA. Never received one. I never got one. Roth IRA is broken though if you have a lot of extra money, but that's just the stock market in general. The stock market is broken if you invest like $20 million into it. You're guaranteed to make 6 figures every year. Bucks should wear creamsicles at least 4 times a year. Yeah, they're good throwbacks. I like those throwbacks. Yeah, I think I think the athletic stadium's gonna be built. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. I'm going to end it there. I will see you guys later. I did see Crockett a little bit on CNN, yeah. I thought it was terrible. All right, guys, see ya.